Hey, Life Group leaders. This is Dan Sams, of course, and I have Mr. Jared Howell with me right now. And Jared is just about to join a life group, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Jared is going to be joining a life group, and so he is going to have the experience of being the first time at a life group. And so I want you guys to think back about when you first entered a life group. Some of you jumped in when we were first starting life groups, so your first life group, you were leading it, which is kind of tricky, but you did an awesome job. So I want you to think about the fact we're launching about 20 new life groups. We have roughly 200 new people going into life groups. So a lot of them are going into current groups. A lot of them are just a part of brand new groups launching. So I felt like we needed to address what you do when you have new people in the group. So before I do that, Jared, you're going to be going to this life group, I think, in the next week or so. In fact, your life group leader will probably be watching this. What do you want to happen that first time? What's going to make you feel welcome and make you feel at home in that life group?
Definitely chemistry, personalities, friendship.
Okay.
That.
Friendship. All right. What kind of things when you go in a new group of people make you feel welcome?
Just people not acting like I'm new.
Okay.
You know, just like right off the bat, we're friends.
Like treating you normal the first time.
Yeah. Food is always good.
All right.
You need snacks because food brings people together.
It does. Well, let me take some of that and put it together. There are things that we always do. I'll make you feel good about this.
Okay.
Things we always do that I want to make sure you're doing when we're either launching a new group or when we have new people in a group. The first thing is do icebreakers. I believe in going around and introducing each other. We've done this thing at Alpha called Name Game, where you say your name and an adjective that has the same first letter. So like I'm Daring Dan. You might have Kathy, Caring Kathy. You might have Joyful Jared. And you go around the room and you memorize not only your name, but like you would say I'm Joyful Jared, and I would say, okay, you're Joyful Jared. I'm Daring Dan, and then Caring Kathy would have to say Joyful Jared, Daring Dan, Caring Kathy, and by the time you go around the room, everybody knows their names. The other one is have each person kind of tell about how they connected with the church, how they connected with the life group, maybe why they want to be in a life group, what they're hoping to get out of it. So just some going around the room and having everybody, not just the new person, but everybody share something about themselves. In fact, it's best if you start with somebody who's not the new person. Go around and just kind of talk about yourself, so it's a chance for everybody to get to know each other. If it's a lot of married couples, maybe talk about how you met. Have each couple tell their love story. Things like that are really good for that, breaking of the ice. Jared mentioned it, but let's make sure you have some kind of food. I know we're supposed to do this every week, but coffee or I know Jim's group, they're not going to have coffee because he doesn't believe in coffee, but coffee is good. Dessert is good. If you want to have a whole meal, that's awesome, but food is really important. And something else is ending on time. Make sure, especially that first week that somebody's new. I know how it is when conversations gets going. You could have a 2 or 3 hour group easy.
Yeah.
Make sure you end after an hour and a half. And after an hour and a half, if people want to stay and talk, that's awesome. But make sure that there's a clear break point. So how about Jared? Do you have any questions about what you're hoping to experience or what you're curious about going to life group the first time?
Well, what's the format? What are we going to be talking about?
All right, that's a great thing. Now, a lot of our life group leaders will know this, but it might be a good thing. By the way, most of you should have already called the people that have been assigned to your group, but if you haven't, go ahead and give them a call and let them know. The format is normally we get together for about a half hour for hanging out, and that's when we drink our coffee and eat our dessert or dinner, depending on when your group is. And then, after that, we go into a time of discussion where we go over the bulletin questions. Normally, that's roughly a half an hour.
Okay.
And then we pray, and then after that, we hang out more. Sometimes we do a little bit more discussion then, but it's pretty laid back. It's a lot of fellowship, and should be a good time. So that's another thing to do. Make sure you let that person or persons know who are coming to your group what it's going to be like, and make them feel as comfortable as possible. Sometimes we meet up with them on a Sunday before they come so that they feel like they're not just going to a stranger's house, it's somebody they've met on a Sunday. Those kind of things are good. So with all that in mind, I'm excited. You all are doing great work. Thank you, especially to you faithful leaders who have been there a long time. Those of you who are brand new, thank you. Be ready, because these new groups launching, it's always tricky. You have some people say, oh, this group's not for me, and they want to try another one. It's okay. Let them do that. Sometimes you have more people added in the next couple weeks. It's always kind of an adventure, but God is doing great things. Side note, we have had no less than 2 salvations in the last week that I'm thrilled about.
Yeah.
Both of them were connected to groups in some way. Actually, both of them, I would argue, were the direct result of people out of life groups ministering.
Wow.
And so you guys are doing a great work. More salvations to come, more great things are to come. Keep up the good work. Thanks for Jared for being with us today.
Heck yeah.
All right. Have a great week.